No Musar on Motzei Shabbos. Somebody say, I don't know. You don't need no Musar on Motzei Shabbos.
What do they got going on in camp Motzei Shabbos?
Ready?
Right now they're doing raffles. I have to tell you, that Beis Medrash was packed the whole afternoon with kids. They got these kids. I don't know what they're giving out. I don't know what kind of raffles. I saw Simcha coming back from Beis Medrash with a sefer. So, I don't know what they got. You couldn't get my kids to Beis Medrash, but.
No, really. How's Michael Schiff? He's okay?
He comes and goes. He's in and out. Is
that right, though?
Seems like it.
He was having a rough few days.
Seems like he's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, good talk.
So instead of Musar, we do camp dates. Is that the new thing?
Yeah.
That's basic.
Okay, 1 second. Paris, Halacha, your Simcha is going to be in a few weeks. Okay, relax.
Where'd we get up to on Friday?
Might be by the Mishna,
The Mishna.
By the Mishna.
Where I'll say, I'm on Amud Aleph. What's that?
Of Zion and
to the Mishna.
The Mishna, yeah.
To the very good. Okay. You hit the record?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. So talk the Mishna. Yeah, Beis Shamai Iram. Tinase betito ksubata. So not only could she get married with this aid, so the one aid, or even based on her own testimony, but she could also get the money from her ksuba. Beis Hilllel says she can get married, but she's not allowed to take her ksuba because ksuba is dine maminis, right? Meaning we're mekel because of aguna. So that's why we're going to believe this. But for dine ksuba is a dine maminis. You can't believe an aid that on dine maminis. All right. So Beis Shamai he tartem erva chamura. So Beis Shamai says to Beis Hilllel, you don't want to believe the Eidos because of Dinei Mamanis, but you're going to believe the Eidos to be Mater and Eishes Ish, Veloy Nate Maman Akal, and you're not going to allow Dinei Mamanis. Meaning, if you're believing it that because of that, then you have to at least believe it for the Mamanis. Amud Beis Hilllel Masinu She'ein ha'achin nichnasin lenachal al pia. Right, that we see that brothers will not inherit based on her testimony. Meaning, even though she can get herself remarried, so now what happens to all his money? So to his brothers Yashin him. The Mishnah says no. So the male, if they don't Yashin him, so then why should she be able to get the kesuba? Some of the Beis Shamai, mispar kesuba misefer kesuba nilmad, we learn out from her kesuba, who cause of law, that when he writes the kesuba, he writes to her, if she goes and gets remarried to somebody else, then I'm going to give you what's written in the kesuba, what I wrote to you. All right, so it's clear that when the kesuba is saying that she could keep it, right? So because of that taina, Beis Hilllel changed his mind and he went like Beis Shamai. Right, that's the third Mishnah in a row where Beis Hilllel went to Beis Shamai. Fine. So Dr. Gemara, Amar Rav Chisda, Nisyavma, if she becomes a Nisyavma, if they did yibum, so yivum and nichnas l'nachal apiyah. So we said this way back when, I don't remember when, but we said this, that the one who does yibum he yarshins the brother. Right, the one that does the yibum, he gets the whole brother's Yerusha. Because he's replacing his brother. So nichlas l'nachla alpiyah. So heim darshu medrash ksuba, and they darshan a medrash of what they're darshaning the lashon of the ksuba. He says anu lo nidrash medrash Torah. We don't. Well, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. What happened?
I just spotlighted you, Tiago. Go back to the thing. Go back to the voice.
What a spotlight.
You can just see your face.
What? Oh, you couldn't see my face?
Oh, you were going through
What?
Let me see where your face.
I don't know.
You're good. Yaakov, you're good.
Placement. Okay, so anyways, I'm sorry. So I just read that incorrectly. I'm not in the Yaba Yevamos. If they do yibum, so Yevamos nichnas l'nachal alpiyah. So the brother yashins everything based on her testimony. Right? If her testimony is gonna make yibum, so then that's it. So then he yashins. The haim darshan medrash kesuba. They're gonna darshan from the kesuba. Anu lo nidrash medrash Torah, and we shouldn't darshan from the Torah. It says Yakum al Shem Achiv Amar Achmana. So the Torah says that he's standing in the place of his brother. Barei come, and he did. Right? So Memela, since he was in place of his brother, he gets to keep the kesuba. So Amar Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman said, Bas lebezdin v'amra meis bali tirali naseh. She comes to Bezdin and she said, my husband died. So we allow her. I'm sorry. Let me get married. So we allow her to get married, and we give her the kesuba. Why? Because all she came to Bezdin to ask was for marriage, that she should get married. Then after that, we give her the kesuba. Fine. Tnuli ksubasi. But if she comes to Bezdin and says, "Give me my kesuba," and then afle nase ain matira noisa. Then if she just comes into Bezdin looking for her money, then we don't even let her get married. Because she's money hungry. That's all. And with choshed that she's money hungry, she's not going to say the truth. My time. What's the reason? Because the died to the kesuba. So we're afraid that she's coming for the kesuba. She's not really coming to try and get herself remarried. Fine. So that's what it is. Basically, if she comes and says she wants to get married, we believe her. If she comes, she says I'll the kesuba, we don't believe her. So they had a shayla like this. She asked to be married. And she also said, give me my kesuba. So she asked for both. Mao, what's the din? Since she mentioned the word kesuba, she really was coming for the kesuba, and therefore she shouldn't be believed. Anything that when a person goes to Bezdin, even if their main reason they're going to is for whatever, they're going to just try and unload everything that they want. So really, her main thing was for marriage. Once she was going for marriage, then she also mentioned kesuba. And if you do say that anything that a person has, he says to the Bezdin, so tnuli subasi fetiruni linase mao. What happens if she says the opposite? She says, not meaning the opposite order. Give me my kesuba and not to be married. Here for sure, she's coming on das kesuba. Or maybe she doesn't know what's being mat to her. She knows that she should go to Bezdin, but she has no idea if the kesuba is the matter. She's an amor. She has no idea. She might think that the only way for her to be able to become mutter, to get remarried, is if she gets a kesuba. But she didn't really mean that she wants a kesuba. She was just mentioning it because she thought that that's part of the equation, which it's not. Right? So since she doesn't know, so do we just say that she's coming for marriage? So Teiku, the Gemara says that it's Teiku. Right? Fine. Talk says, yeah, so that's it. Fine. Next Mishna. Hakol nemonin leida. Everybody's nemon to say edus. Right? Chut mechamoisa. Her mother-in-law is not believed to say edus that her son died. Ubas chamoisa, and the mother-in-law's daughter, which is the sister-in-law. We'll see in the Gemara. You could have a sister-in-law from the mother and sister-in-law from the father, right? But this is the sister-in-law from the mother. The Tzarasa and her co-wife, the yivimta, and the yavam's wife. Right? The yavam, the guy, her brother-in-law's wife, who would have to share him with the wife, Ubas Baila, and her stepdaughter. Right? So all these are not going to be believed. Right? Right? So the reason for all these is because they have skin in the game that they're not so happy with this guy, with the wife. So they're not so happy with the wife, so they're not going to be looking. They want her to be. They want to ruin her. That's the way Rashi says it. I mean, you're right, Arakal. I mean, it's wild. The time of the kulu of Nesha Steinus, so they hate her, right? And they're looking out to mess her up, right? Fine. Fine. So those are the five. Yeah. So the man by get lemisa, but how come by get they're all believed? Because by a get, at least they have a written document that says that they got divorced. So therefore, if any of these come and testify, then they are believed, because you at least have a document to back them up. Fine. So Zok the Gemara, Ibailu, Bas Chamiha Mahu, right? Yeah, Bas Chamiha, the daughter from the father-in-law, right? The Mishnah said the daughter from the mother-in-law. What about the daughter from the father-in-law? Time at the Bas Chamaisa. Why does the daughter of the mother-in-law hate her? Mishum de'ika ema desanyele. Because there's the mother. The mother hates her, so Mamela, the daughter also hates her. So hinami sanyela. I'm sorry, stop mid-sentence. Mishum de'ika ema. Mishum de'ika ema. There's the mother, the sanyela, who hates her. So hinami sanyela. So she also hates her. Vacha leka ema desanyela. And here, if it's the father-in-law's daughter, there's no mother there. So there's no mother there, so she's not going to be hated. By Dilma, time with the Bas Chamaisa, the reason why the mother-in-law's daughter hates her, this lady is eating all the work of my mother. Right? Because he got married, and then she's going to eat away at all the profits. She's going to go eat out, or eat all the money from my father. Right? So that's the shaila. Again, is it only the mother-in-law's daughter, or maybe even the father-in-law's daughter that hates? So Tashema, it says 5 women. And if you're saying that the daughter-in-law of the father-in-law is also one of the haters, then the Mishnah should say 6 cases, not 5. My answer is the Dilma time of the Bas Chamaisa to Amra Ka'achla L'Kersani de Bein Shai. Right, so she's saying that he's going to eat, and I made a show. Doesn't make a difference if it's the mother-in-law. Doesn't make a difference if it's the daughter of the mother-in-law or the daughter of the father-in-law. The Gemara says, now the Gemara goes to a different thing. But we learned 7. Our Mishnah only says 5. When answers to Rabbi Yehudi, that's Rabbi Yehudi. That's not Rabbi Yehudi. Ma'aseh af eshes av. Rabbi Yehudi added on that even the father's wife will hate the daughter-in-law, v'hakala, right? And the daughter-in-law, right? A woman's daughter-in-law will hate her. So Amrulai, meaning, so he added on 2 more. So the Rabbanan, who only had 5, said, Eishes av arei b'chlal bas bal. The father's wife, that's included in bas bal. Kala harei b'chlal chamaisa. And the daughter-in-law is part of the mother-in-law. So they're not separate. They're not separate entities. So yehuda, so we understand according to Yehuda that the mother-in-law hates the daughter-in-law. The Amra she's eating my food. Meaning all the work I put into my son, she's going to eat. Or all my profits that I gave over to my son. My time is but how come a daughter-in-law hates the mother-in-law? So Bishlam about Tabal. So we understand that the daughter of the mother, right, says that she's eating up all my mother's work. But the father's wife, my time is about. Why should she like this? Why should she hate the daughter-in-law? Right? So Elamai Ma'isif Tarti. So when it says, what are you saying? That he's not adding on 2? Right? Why? What does that mean? He's why would he say that? Yeah. My time is What is the reason why a daughter-in-law hates the mother-in-law? The Megala Libanah called the Avda because the mother-in-law tells the son-in-law all these things that she doesn't like about his wife. And the father's wife, like meaning the stepmother, doesn't like the daughter-in-law because he's being she'll be megala to the father all that she does. So basically, all the underground fighting that goes on amongst families causes all the strife and causes people to hate each other. Now, this does have. Yeah.
So anybody that has an ulterior motive, so we're not going to let. I mean, it's an underlying ulterior motive. They can't be made.
That's what it seems. Right? I mean, if the Shiloh
is there something you want to say to your shviger here? Is that what's going on?
No, I love my shviger.
Louder, she can't hear you.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the basement, Aaron. So.
Oh.
I'm saying if there's a Yerusha thing involved, so the person can't be made on that person. If there's other ulterior, besides husband, wife, mother-in-law, father-in-law, if there's a sibling that comes and is made, but there's a Yerusha thing involved, so then automatically he can't be an Aiden Bezin?
Yes, 100%.
Because there's Negias.
But that's a little different. In this case, we're believing Eid Echad, and we're believing Nashim al Taguna. But yes, if there's Negias, yeah. Some places.
I want to ask you, if you have a lady, if you have some lady come in and be made, so why is she believed? Because Mishum Aguna Kilu Rabbanah. So why are we believing this one? Because there's a Negias there?
Correct.
So how do we ever know if there's Negias?
You have to try and research it. You have to try and research it, but if you can't, you can't. You can't. If you don't know, you don't know.
I mean, here we know that there's a mistama, an underlying thing. Is that what it is?
Yeah, this is the default. This is the default. Right? These are for everybody. Even listen, nowadays, I don't know if these rules really still apply. Right? I'm not so sure. I hope not in my case. I live right near my mother, you know what I mean? But there is a practical halachic thing here, and that is yichud. Right? A man is allowed to have yichud with a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law. Okay? Not his own, not meaning not when he's having yichud. If there's a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, meaning normally one man and two women is yichud. But if the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, if the two women are a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, then it's allowed.
What about independent one-on-one? No.
What do you mean?
A man with his daughter-in-law or a man with his mother-in-law?
No, that's yichud. Sure, that's yichud. That's yichud. It's only a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law at the same time. Not. I guess his own mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Same thing. What are you saying?
Not his mother-in-law and his daughter-in-law. Two women who are to each other mother-in-law and daughter-in-law.
Correct. If a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, you want to give a ride in the country late at night to a mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, so there's no issue. Because since they hate each other, if one of them messes around, she's going to yent it out to the whole town. All right? Fine. So let's divide.
That still applies, or that doesn't apply today?
We do. I never saw the Paiskim say that nowadays it doesn't apply.
Right.
As far as I know, it applies. Yeah. For Rabbanon, and the Rabbanon say, "Kemayim panim lepanim, kain leva adam la'adam." The same way, water. When you look at the water, you see a reflection. Leva adam is the same thing. Meaning, if one hates, then the other one is going to hate. You're not going to start, right? Meaning, you don't need to give a special, what do you mean? Another type. Meaning, one hates, then the other one is going to automatically hate. That's going to be self-understood, which is a rule I think that you do see when there's a lack of a relationship somewhere. So a lot of times, it's mutual. The feelings are mutual. Right? Rabbi Yehuda says, "Mayim panim al panim is referring to divrei Torah, right? Which is a big muster, which is basically the harder you work on Torah, the more you're going to get. The more you're going to get. More schar you're going to get, right? Rashi says. Right? If you got about timsa, if lo you got the light timsa, if you work hard, you're going to get the Torah. If you don't work hard, you're not going to get the Torah. That's the way he learns it. So therefore, he doesn't go with Mayim Panim Panim refers to relationships. He says that it refers to Torah. So B'meila, he needs to give another counting. I mean, he has to count. He has to say it's 7 women instead of saying 5. Okay, fine. So Amar Rav Acha bar Avia, boy b'marava. What happens if the mother-in-law that could possibly come later, is she Neman or not? Meaning what? She's the Yavam, she's a potential Yavam's mother-in-law. So that means this woman could potentially become her daughter-in-law if her husband dies. Right? Meaning if you have a guy gets married, so he has a mother-in-law, right? Then the mother-in-law realizes that this guy, her son-in-law, has a brother, and the brother doesn't have any kids, right? So she starts thinking, well, oh boy, if this guy dies, my son-in-law is going to have to get another wife. That means that my son-in-law's sister-in-law might become my daughter-in-law. So does she already start with the negiyas then? Or
it's the Yavam's mother-in-law or the Yavam's mother?
The Yavam. I'm sorry, did I say mother-in-law?
Yeah.
The Yavam's mother. Sorry,
Right.
not the Yavam's mother-in-law, the Yavam's mother. Right, the Yavam's mother. Well, no, 1 second.
It's the Yavam's mother. She will become this woman's mother-in-law. The Yavam's mother-in-law will never be this woman's mother-in-law.
No, but the Yavam's mother-in-law is already her mother-in-law, no?
No, the Yavam's mother-in-law will never be related to her in any way.
The Yavam's mother.
The brothers are paternal brothers, lav dafka maternal brothers. No.
What?
Right, that's what
The
you have to
Yavam's
say,
mother-in-law
right.
is his current wife's mother. His current wife's mother will never be her mother-in-law.
We know that, Gershon. We know that.
Right, no, that's true. Yeah, I said mother-in-law. It means the mother. Right, I'm sorry. Thank you. It means the mother. Yes. Anyway, so that's the shiloh. Mao, what's the din with a potential mother-in-law? Me maska daited the misbal v'nafla kamei yavam v'sanila. Is she thinking so far in advance that she may become the mother-in-law, and she hates her already, or not? So do we say basically what?
We know. All of us are thinking of the people we know who are whacked out of their mind. You would think of this right away. Yeah.
I was thinking the other way around. I was thinking like all of us are thinking like, is the Gemara basically asking, is this actually a woman thinking in advance? Or some guys complain that their wives think way too much in advance. Like 3 months from now, they're already declaring what's going to be. And some say, no, my wife doesn't think about who's going to pay the bill. So how should she think about that she might become a mother-in-law? Right? Whatever. Everybody has their own interpretation of this type of shiloh. Anyway. So Tashima, Amra, on Talmud Beis. Tashima, Amra, Meis Baili, Vachakas, Meis Kami. If a woman comes from Medina Tayyam, and she says that first my husband died, and then my father-in-law died. So basically, she's saying Eidos that both her and her mother-in-law are allowed to get married. And they don't need him. It was the first case is that. Somehow, they can both get married. She testifies her and her mother-in-law. She's allowed to get married and she can take kesuba. But she's allowed to, but the mother-in-law is also, right? Because she is not allowed to say Eidos on her mother-in-law because she hates her. My time of why is the mother-in-law also? Right? Because maybe neither one of them died. right? Right? And this that they're saying that they both died. Really, she just wants to mess over her mother-in-law because she wants her mother-in-law to get remarried, and then her mother-in-law is going to die. Not her. Then I'm not sorry. Then the follower is not going to die, and now she's going to have to get divorced. Right? So meaning when my husband comes back, she'll be out of the picture. She won't be able to be mitzvah me. Right? So whatever it
Parents,
is,
this is a law and order. They couldn't figure it out, the detectives. This is a law.
Yeah. No, that's right. I'm saying that this is like she might potentially kill her own marriage just so that she can get her mother-in-law. Right? That's pretty wild. So then you see that they think far in advance. The Gemara answers, no, Dilma Shani Osam derogish l'tzara, because she's already feeling the tsar. Meaning she already felt the tsar before. Meaning she has been the daughter-in-law for a while. In the case that we just asked, she's not yet the daughter-in-law, so maybe she's not in such pain. Right? Fine. Okay, so then that's the end of the hating. Now Dr. Mishna, Eid Omer Mace. Then one aid says Mace. The husband died, Benithis, and then she got married based on Eid Echad, Uba Echad, for Amar Lai Mace, and then comes along another aid and says, no, he didn't die. So what's her din? So you would think they should cancel each other out, but the Mishnah says, no, Harezu Lai Teise, she doesn't have to leave. Right? Which we'll see in the Gemara exactly what that means, but the Mishnah, at least what it seems like, is that again, she got married to somebody else based on an Eid Echad, came along another guy and said that Eid Echad was no good. So it's not true. So, but she does not have to get divorced. Right? Eid Omer Meis, one Eid says he died, B'shnayim Oimrim Loi Meis, and two said he didn't die, Apa Pisha Nisas Teitze. Even if she got married, she has to get divorced. Because here you have two Eidim gets one. Nayim Oimrim Meis, two said that the husband died, so then she gets married. Be'ed Oimer Loi Meis, and one witness comes along and says Loi Meis, Apa Pisha Loi Nisas. Then in that case, even if she hasn't gotten married yet, she could still get married because two Eidim have more power than one Eid. Right? Fine. So again, there's three cases in the Mishnah. The Gemara is going to go through all of them. All right? Again, first it's one Eid against another Eid, then it's one Eid against two Eidim, and then it's two Eidim against one Eid. Yes, the Gemara asks, what's the chiddush? Yes. What did somebody say? Somebody say something?
I said, what's the chiddush?
Yeah. So that's what the Gemara is going to ask. The Gemara is going to go through that right now. The Gemara asks, time of the Nissus. It's mashma that only because she got married. Meaning the Mishnah sounds like one Eid says that he died, so she gets married. Then comes along another Eid, she doesn't have to get divorced. Mashma, if she wasn't married yet, she would not be able to get divorced. Why? At time of the Nissus, haloi Nissus loitina. Say Mashma, she didn't get married. She can no longer get married because it is one Eid. V'amar ula. Anytime the Torah believes in Eid Echad, that we look at it like as if it's two. Meaning when the Torah says you believe in Eid Echad for Aguna, that has the same power as two Eidim. And now comes along an Eid Echad, it's a standard Eid Echad, all he's saying is the guy is still alive. And one guy comes along and says something opposite of two Eidim, it doesn't count. So here, essentially, when we believe this guy, Aguna, so he's believed like two people. Comes along another guy and says something opposite, then we don't believe him. He has to come along with two Eidim in order to believe. So what it says, this is what it means to say. Eid Echad Omer Meis. An Eid Echad said he died, and she became mutter to marry. And then another guy came along and said, she doesn't go out from her first heter. Right? And it doesn't mean that if she got married, she does not have to get divorced. It means that she doesn't go out of her original heter. Means she doesn't go out from the heter that the Bezdin gave her in the first place, right? And she can go lechatchila and even get married, right? Meaning again, in the Havamim in the Mishna, we said like says if she was married to somebody else, she doesn't have to go out. Mashma, if she wasn't married, she can't. We're saying no. Like says means she doesn't go out from the psak of the Bezdin, and she could even get married lechatchila. Fine. Eidim remace. If once the aid says mace, and then two aidim come and say he didn't die. So pshita, the words of one is not the same, is not equal to the words of two. So my answer is like tricha b'psule eidos. We're talking about by psule eidos, meaning these people, right? These people are they're pasul eidos. I mean, the two witnesses that came are normally pasul eidos. Let's say from the last Mishna, or they're not stam nashim. So even though we believe them for aguna, but still we don't believe them with the same power of regular two eidim. It's like this dinner of Nechemia. So the Tanner of Nechemia, Aimer, Kom Makam Shemina Torah Eid Echad. Anytime the Torah believes in Eid Echad, right, doesn't mean that it has the regular strength of Eidos. Halach Achar Roiv Deis, you're still going to go with Roiv of the Deis. What does that mean? Meaning, normally when you have 100 Eidim versus 2 Eidim, so we don't look at the 100 Eidim as they're any more powerful than the 2 Eidim. It's considered one testimony against the other testimony. Even though 100 Eidim are saying one way, we don't treat it with any sort of strength. But here we would, when the Eid Echad or 2 Eidim who are not normally believed, but we're believing them, and then you're going to get more opinions that say opposite, then we are going to go with the majority of the opinions. And we're going to say that 2 women, right, against 1 man, that's the same as 2 men against 1 man, and therefore we're going to believe. So that's the chiddush of the Gemara. That even 2 Eidim who are not normally believed are still more powerful than Eid Echad. Or another shot. When you have a Eid Echad that comes, it's kosher me'ikara. Then even 100 women are considered as one aid. Right? Ella, we're talking about where a woman came first, right? And she said that the husband died, yeah. And then 2 women or 2 psule came and said they said the opposite. And the way we're going to explain Rabbi Chania is as follows: wherever the Torah believes in Eid Echad, we go with the roiv of whatever people are saying. And they make 2 women like 1 woman. And we have the same thing as 2 men against 1 man. 2 women against 1 man is considered 50-50, right? And therefore, since it's 50-50, we're not going to be able to do anything with this Eidos, right? Then she can't. Well, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. If it's one against 1, then we're going to believe it, right? That's what it was saying. That we're going to believe it, like in the first case of the Mishna. Fine. If 2 say mace, right, and then one of them came along and said he didn't, then she's allowed to get married. So it says my kamashmalon. What's the chiddush? Psule eidos with Reb Nechemia, the other but the Rav Deis. You're saying that it's not a regular 2 eidim that came. It's 2 eidim that are pasul eidos. Hainu hach. Right, this is the same. That's the same case, the second and third case. So what's the chiddush? So our answer is mao the same. When do we go basar roiv deis? That's l'chumra to say that she can't get married. Aval l'kula, but to say that we go with the majority and say that she's able to get married. Maybe you don't go with this thing of Reb Nechemia. Kamash Malan that we're gonna when the eidim are pasul, we're gonna go with the majority, whether that majority is l'kula or the majority is l'chumra. All right, I hope that was understandable. So relatively short daf, and then so we'll stop over there. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
Tiago, what are we doing for scheduling this week?
I think we'll. What time is the Mincha Myers this week?
I think it's the same, 8:15, I think.
What?
8:15, I believe.
Okay, so we'll 7:25. We'll call for 7:25 again this week.
Okay.
Next week already, I think it's going to start getting earlier.
Right.
Yeah, but next week's the beginning of Ksubas.
So what does that mean?
Needs more time than the end of Yevamos. It's like the beginning of Yevamos.
What?
This is,
I don't know.
that was way too complicated for me. Have a
I
good
don't
day.
know. Gershon, you can't bring your comments to the Daf Yomi share, okay?
And Gershon, does that mean we just have to permanently mute you?
Okay,
I gotta make up Dolev.
good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.